What's up guys, welcome to today's video, and today we're going to be checking out Spider-Man versus 20 New York villains. This is going to be very exciting. Now I'm pretty positive that most of these villains, if not all, pretty much is kind of exclusive to Spider-Man's like part of the, you know, Marvel universe and everything, and I am really excited to see how Spider-Man with the villains is going to be within this Jubilee parody. It's going to be very interesting. If you are interested in videos like this, guys, and also like videos to do with like comic book characters, like animation characters, any characters from pretty much anime and all sorts of cartoons and other, you know, people getting arrested, other little funny videos here and there, make sure you subscribe, make sure you smash like, and yeah guys, let's get right into the video.
I am Spider-Man, and today I'm surrounded by 20 of my greatest foes.
Greatest? We'll see about that.
My first claim is simple. None of my enemies here are justified in what they do. Not one of you.
All I do is steal back from the people who took everything from me. They stole my life. How is it not justified to take back a few scraps?
Come on, Vulture. I caught you stealing an iPhone from a 14-year-old. Don't act like I don't know who you are.
That kid lives better at 14 than I ever did. His father is probably a corrupt millionaire. Why do spoiled children get luxury while I struggle to feed my family after spending my whole life as the perfect citizen?
Because stealing is illegal. Do I really have to explain that to you at 70?
Stealing only becomes criminal when people like me do it. When the powerful steal, it's called contracts, loopholes, and policy. The system decides who gets punished, not who's guilty.
Being treated unfairly doesn't give you permission to become unfair.
I'm not being unfair. I'm correcting an injustice, not creating one. What I do isn't just morally right, it's virtuous.
You don't fix a broken system by breaking everyone else. Change comes from participating, proposing better alternatives, exposing flaws. Forcing your version of justice only creates chaos. Especially when legal paths do exist.
You sound exactly like me when I was your age. I believed in legal revolt too. Then I realized those legal paths don't exist to change the system. They exist to protect it. They give people like you the illusion you're fighting back, just enough to drain your will to actually do it.
I'd rather suffer injustice than become the kind of person who creates it.
That's easy to say when time is on your side, when you're old and still broken, when your children have no future, when they're about to suffer worse than you ever did. You can't understand that. That's when morality starts feeling like a luxury.
I get that more than you think. I can barely pay rent. I give everything to this city and it still finds new ways to punish me. But I choose to believe that using my power to protect people, even at my own expense, still matters. The man you were when you struggled honestly was stronger than the man you became.
You hear that? Yeah. That's exactly what the people on top want you to say. They love that. They tell you your suffering has moral value while they take everything else that matters. They turned exploitation into a virtue and somehow convinced us to feel proud about it.
Stop pretending you're some enlightened revolutionary. You don't hate the elite because they're corrupt. You hate them because you're not one of them. You don't want the system destroyed. You want access to it. You and them play the same game. They just won. And you're taking that anger out on everyone else.
As I have to agree with Spider-Man here. It is so true. There's a lot of guys out here that will just be moving buck wild over like, yeah, the system is unfair, this and that, but bro, you can still progress. You can still use your mind, use your brain to try and think ahead, try to build something better for the next generation, let's say. And plus, like, this is like that victim mentality when it's like, bro, oh, like the system is rigged, so I'm gonna be an idiot, I'm gonna play it rigged as well. It's like, bro, you're complaining about the system being rigged. Why don't you start creating systems within your own, like, within your own possibilities of trying to make things more fair, trying to do things more just? Like, this doesn't justify you being a complete moron, if that makes sense. So, like, I don't understand it. And I'm never gonna empathize with people that go with that, like, mentality, because that just brings everyone down. That's literally like the crabs in a bucket, like, kind of mentality. Like, oh, just gonna push everyone down, just gonna, like, no, bro, this is just stupid. Seriously.
Listen, Spider-Man, unlike the other idiots here, I'm not gonna pretend there's some complicated philosophy behind what I do. I do it because it's what I've always done.
So you just came here to tell everyone you're as shallow as that quilted suit you're wearing?
I came here to tell you that nobody here owes you an explanation. I just do what I do because it's the only thing I've ever been good at.
I wouldn't say good. You're barely decent at it, man. Have you ever actually won a fight? Like, even once?
I win just enough to pay my rent. Look, this might be a game to you, but it's not for me. I don't wake up thinking, oh boy, time to get punched by a kid in pajamas. I do it because it's my only option.
Oh, come on with the sob story.
No,
you're not some loser with no options. You're a genius engineer. You built that suit in a prison cell.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you can't find anything else to do besides being a C-tier villain?
Like I said, nothing's worked better for me than this life. And that's enough reason for me to choose it.
No! Working better isn't a good enough reason to justify going around electrocuting people.
What? Electrocuting? You don't even know what my powers are! My power isn't electricity, it's vibration!
Oh, totally slipped my mind. I've got a lot of bad guys to keep track of, you know? But then again, why are you called the Shocker? Feels like you could have landed on something better. Why not the Vibrator?
I was gonna, but it was taken by a superhero. The one who always saves MJ when you can't keep your web shooter loaded.
Still lasts longer than you do in fights.
Shocker's got no respect. He's a cheeky bastard. But yeah, this is good. This is a good part of the, like, Spider-Man does have a good point. Like, bro, you literally created these bloody things, and you're telling me, because he was saying this is the only way that he's made a life for himself, but he's not really tried any other way. In all honesty, he could have like, at least sell some of this technology in the black market, or something, like, at least, well, not black market, but, you know, go into the weapons program, defense anything. Like, he's just given all the excuses, and plus he probably would have made way more money doing something else than what he's doing right here. Like, come on, man, this is insane.
Here is my second claim. If saving people requires lying, controlling them, or ruling over them, then it's not saving.
This city under my control is much safer than what your ideals ever achieved.
Pretty much, yeah.
I carry the weight of this city's underworld.
Buddy, you carry the weight of several city underworlds. But yes, probably. The city's safer for you and your goons when you're around.
It's safer for everybody.
Yeah.
Unlike you, I don't delude myself with the idea that crime will ever stop. So I regulate it. A city under me is predictable.
Predictable! So under you, I can get a calendar reminder for when I get shot in the face? Real comforting.
Predictability keeps people alive. While you feel heroic fighting crime, I prevent it. I reduce the numbers.
Until the numbers are down. Then you start reducing people.
I eliminate people who risk the stability of the underworld. It helps keep crime organized. Nothing gets past me.
Well, yeah, you're usually taking up the whole hallway. That's why I have to go through the ceiling. You're just organizing the suffering, Fisk, not stopping it.
And you? You stop one mugger, pat yourself on the back, and move on. That mugger's boss sends 2 more the next day. I stop the boss from sending anyone at all. You treat symptoms while I cure the disease.
By becoming the disease yourself. You don't cure anything, Fisk. You just make sure you're the only infection left.
Look at the numbers, Spider. Homicide rates drop 40% when my organization controls territory.
Pretty much, yeah.
Emergency room admissions for gang violence down 60%. You want to talk about infection? Chaos is the infection. Desperation is the infection. I provide structure. I keep crime restrained. Nothing escapes my grasp.
Except maybe a salad. I am sure salads are so good at escaping you.
Make your jokes while people die in the streets.
And you keep crime restrained. Is that why crime is up every time you're out of prison?
You care more about the perception of good than actual good. When organized crime is up, that means the bottom of this society are feeding their children.
That's always the excuse. Oh, I have to feed my children. But that's not even true. Most of the people working with you spend their money on drugs and gambling while their families starve at home. If you truly cared about people struggling, you would have worked to make this city better, not to transfer the suffering from one to another.
It's a bit of a Kingpin. Wilson Fisk, he is by far one of my favorite characters within the Spider-Man, like, let's say, universe and all of that type of stuff. Like, because he's got a very good point. But at the same time, Spider-Man's also got a very good point that a lot of the guys he's like hiring and stuff like that, they don't typically make a lot of like good decisions, good life choices, all of this type of stuff. But yeah, it's unfortunate that it's like there's been plenty of times that Kingpin has been very right about how things run. Like when it comes to controlling the underworld, he was the guy that at one point where he was controlling all of the underworld, well, multiple places, and yeah, it was at the lowest. People was technically more safer at that time. Even Spider-Man, I believe, was probably getting restless of like no big crimes. He was just running into a lot of like little crimes and all of this stuff. So he was like, right, like I might have to retire. But yeah, like I really enjoyed the dialogue between Spider-Man and Kingpin. And Kingpin, he is a G because I've seen him mess around with like even Daredevil, and even there's that point when Daredevil is Spider-Man's lawyer and everything. So it's kind of sick still. I'm not even gonna lie, that whole thing. Like Kingpin, he's a very huge like yeah, in multiple ways he's a huge guy, bro. And he is very powerful as well. Like not like crazy powerful, but for like a normal human that's got no superpowers or anything, he's kind of strong as well. And yeah, it has been one of them ones that even when Wilson Fisk turns into Mayor Fisk, like it turns things very interesting on how he lowers the crime rates and all of that. But it also depends on which comics. But yeah, this was an amazing part of the video still.
Tell me, Spider-Man, why is it wrong for me to use my skills to make people believe stuff that will fix this unjust world and make them question the status quo?
You don't do it for that, Mysterio. You don't create illusions to enlighten people. You do it to feed your ego, for applause, headlines, and control.
Fine. Forget about me for a second. Let's say there's someone else with my abilities. A complete saint. Someone who only bends reality to help people, to give them joy and hope. Sure, the situations aren't real, but they're genuinely making people's lives better. What then?
A good person shows people the truth, even when it's ugly, because they respect their freedom, their right to choose for themselves. The second you feed them lies and twist reality into what you think is best for them, you take that away.
So you're saying that there's no situation where manipulating people's minds is a good thing?
None. Forcing people to believe lies is always wrong, no matter the intention.
Then why did you do it?
What?
Why did you brainwash everyone into forgetting your identity? Peter Parker!
How do you know that?
Doesn't matter how I know.
Everyone knows.
What matters is that you did the exact thing you just said no good person would ever do. So what does that make you?
What I did didn't hurt anyone. Forgetting who I am doesn't change their lives.
Oh, so suddenly you're not so black and white about reality manipulation. I don't think the Spider-Man from like 10 seconds ago would agree with you.
Don't you dare compare what you do to what I did.
You're right. I won't. Because what you did is worse than anything I've ever done. You heroes get to do the exact same things you condemn us for, with zero consequences. All because you've convinced yourselves you're doing the right thing. But newsflash, Spider-Man. We all think we're doing the right thing. You're no different from us.
Not Carnage.
You're only seen as heroes because you won the PR
We're
war.
heroes because people believe in us. Even when we make mistakes, our intentions are never evil.
Does it really matter if the people believe in you or not, Peter? When you'll just run to some wizard, or the literal devil, to rewrite their minds the moment they stop believing in you.
Yeah,
You know
running
what?
into Mephisto as well.
Maybe you're right. But I did it because the people I love were being hunted. And that choice still eats at me. Every single day. That's
So
the
dramatic.
difference. I carry the weight of what I did. You wear it like a trophy.
I'm pretty much enjoying all the conversations, in all honesty. They're very good. And the guys he's picking to actually debate Spider-Man is very, very great. Like, they're very useful characters. These characters have a lot of like a very deep relationship with Spider-Man for the most part. They are like, they're also known in a lot of like a lot of Spider-Man's famous comics and stuff like that, like more iconic ones. But yeah, this was a great convo. I like how pretty much how he's pointing out how Spider-Man can sometimes be a little bit hypocritical, which is, yeah, it's one of those things that the villains are always going to think that the heroes are being hypocritical, and as long as the people have their back and all of this type of stuff, like that, everything is pretty much okay. But there is times that like the people have been like there's times when people have been believed that like the certain things is a certain way. Like, I remember at one point when Spider-Man was framed and everyone believed it all of a sudden, and then it was like, well, you know, he's all of a sudden now, like, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, he's there getting framed, and then he has to kind of like go with, what is it, Daredevil, to kind of find evidence that it was not actually him and all of this type of stuff. I believe it was actually, what is it the guy called, Reptile or something like that. I forget what the guy's name is, but I know he transforms into people and stuff like that. So he looked like Spider-Man, framed him, and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, a bit of spoilers to certain old school animations, but it should be good. But yeah, I'm loving how. Sorry, I went on a little bit of on a mad thing there. But yeah, I love their conversations together. Like, they both have very good points. And Spider-Man is, at the end of the day, I am going to agree with Spider-Man. You should not, like, you know, like, put people in harm. As long as it's for their general safety and all of this type of stuff, you're pretty good. So, yeah.
My final claim is that with great power comes great responsibility.
Of course.
If you can stop harm and you don't, part of that harm is on you.
Pretty much.
So why do you stop me every time I try to use my genius to help this city?
Because your idea of helping is insane, Doc.
Yeah.
Nobody wants what you're offering.
It's still my responsibility to achieve it. I have been blessed with this brain power, and according to your claim, it would be wrong to not use it to change what I think is wrong.
No! Power gives you the responsibility to preserve people's freedom and their ability to choose what's right for themselves. It doesn't give you the right to decide for other adults what you think is best for them.
Tell me then, why do you think adults have the right to choose what's best for children?
Because children's brains aren't developed enough to make those choices yet.
And my brain is far more advanced compared to the average adult than...
Alright, this guy has gone full blown Michael Isatel on, man. He's gone full buck wild. I swear down, like he really thinks he's the smartest guy. Like, I swear, this is ridiculous, bro.
Their brains are compared to children. That's exactly what gives me the right to choose for them. I understand what's best for them far better than they ever will.
You know what's funny? Saying that actually proves you're not as smart as you think.
Literally.
Intelligence isn't everything, Doc. It's not enough to tell you what's right or wrong.
That's exactly what mediocre minds tell themselves to justify holding the rest of us back.
What?
They'd rather drag everyone into the abyss than admit someone knows better.
Knowing right from wrong requires emotions, empathy, values, and faith. All you have, Doctor, is intelligence, which is probably why every genius plan of yours ends with you face down on the pavement. Maybe if you spent less time calculating and more time actually caring about people, you'd realize that being the smartest guy in the room means nothing if you're alone in it.
Spidey's got a very good point there. It doesn't matter how smart you are, like how rich you are, how whatever one metric that you have maxed out, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're alone, bro. Like, so you might as well actually have like a community of people that you care about. I've seen this very commonly with people that are like high achievers, but they're alone and they make everyone else the enemy and stuff like that. I always saw that type of stuff as like kind of like cope. Like, you're kind of like coping here, bro. Like, you kind of need to like have a community. You need to have people that you do stuff with. You communicate, bro. Like you actually care about. Because if you don't, then you're not actually gonna be practicing like genuinely like trying to build up something that lasts as long as possible, like that is actually good for people. Yeah, you're just gonna fuck it up. That's the way it is.
With great power comes the privilege to rule. That's how it's always been throughout history, until insects started to have a say.
So, I'm more powerful than you, which means I get to rule you now, right? Cool! My first decree, man purses are officially banned. Sorry, Gabi.
Cute. Hide behind jokes all you want. The only reason you think power comes with obligations is because yours was handed to you by a spider bite. You feel guilty about it. If you'd spent decades clawing your way to the top like I did, you'd understand. You'd know you earned the right to take whatever you want.
It doesn't matter how you got your power. Once you have it, you use it to help people. And I'm pretty sure you'd agree with that if you were on the other side.
So let me get this straight. Someone works their entire life to gain power, and now they're supposed to not only avoid hurting people, but spend every waking moment saving them?
If the roles were reversed, you'd want someone to save you.
So the powerful spend their lives becoming slaves to the weak. That's your philosophy? Look, I could understand not going out of your way to hurt people, but you're saying we have no freedom. That we owe everyone everything. That's not responsibility, Spider-Man. That's just guilt.
What you're missing, Gabi, is that you can't really get power on your own. No matter how much you think you're self-made, you wouldn't be where you are without people you've never even met. So yeah, we owe everybody.
Ha ha! That's what the weak make us believe, so they can boss us around. Do you realize, Spider-Man, that if the vast majority of New York got powers like ours, they'd become me and not you? You say I'm your enemy, but you save thousands of me without power every single day.
You know what? I've been in this city long enough to know you might actually be right about that. But even if it is, it'll always be my responsibility to do the right thing. Not because I owe it to them, but because I owe it to myself.
Alright, I have to say this was a great video. Great conversation between Green Goblin and Spider-Man over here, because realistically, they're like Green Goblin's got a good point when it comes to like, a lot of people are gonna end up like how he is if they had a choice. But I love how Spider-Man finished it right there with the whole thing of like, it doesn't matter what these men are doing, it's still up to me to do what I believe is right. And guess what? If these other men feel like being like Green Goblin is right, then yeah, they can do their thing, innit? Like sometimes not that's the thing, not everyone's gonna do right all at the same time, if that makes sense. Some people is made to do wrong, so it shows everyone like, Rod, don't do these things, because these things is very stupid, like realistically. And even the whole thing of like when these guys saying they're self-made and all of this type of shit, like in my opinion, you can't actually be self-made. Like, it's not really possible. Like, you did not dig gold, you did not like not sell to others. Like anyone that thinks they're like self-made, very delusional. Like they're kind of retarded still. They definitely have people that work their ass off to help them get to where they're at, and they're just like, well, I'm self-made, this and that. They're not grateful. That's all I got from that. Like, Green Goblin is not grateful at all, and he's a dumb guy. And Green Goblin, if he was actually being real about it, the spider that bit Spider-Man, it came from his company, so he made it, like he made Spider-Man because of his own retardation, realistically. Like, so he's not really thinking about it still. He's kind of dealing with cope when he's like, oh, that's what weaklings think and stuff like that. Bro, like, it's better to do what Spidey's doing than what you're doing. You built up a company just to pretty much kill your whole board and then go on a mad thing publicly. That was a very stupid move, which forced now your son to take the company. Green Goblin he's got a lot of cope still. But yeah, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you smash like, try the hype button, and yeah, guys, hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. As usual, if there's any comments you want to leave, please do. Who was your favorite person going up against Spidey, and plus, what would you like me to cover next? Catch you on the next one, guys. Have a good one.